Before we get started, I just want to run over the basics of media management in terms of project files. And we have to remember that all of the softwares use reference files, and so they're going to be connecting to your media folder. And if we keep them all in the same master folder, they'll always stay connected as you move your hard drive from computer to computer. So basically, we want to have our master project folder that would, be the name of your project, and then inside that we would want to make a Premiere file, and in the settings that we want to send the render files in this folder, and that will also make the rendering go quicker when you move from computer to computer. We'll do the same thing with Audition. You'll send the render files to that folder from Audition. We've got After Effects, and then we've got the media files. And in there we will have your audio files, several flavors of video files, and possibly any graphics that you guys might have. So when we open Premiere, when we import our media, we want to make sure that the stereo media is set on mono right here. And what that will do is it'll split the tracks when it gets imported. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to rename our audio and video files, and then we can import the media. So I have a master folder called Large Crew Workshop that has our original files on it. This is what the crew shot last year. Got our shot log here. It marks the good takes to kind of speed up the editing process, even though we want to import everything because we never know what's going to be a good piece to have. But I'd also like you guys, for the good takes, to circle those takes, because circled takes are magic. And we want 2 good circled takes for every camera setup. And each of these shots is a camera setup. What would also be nice is to let us know which mics are going on which channel, whether like the shotgun is on the FS5 channel 1, or if the 2 wireless mics are on the FS5 channels and then the Tascam has another channel. Making that clear will make our post life easier too, because remember, we're trying to design something so that anybody can jump into the project and keep the ball moving forward. I already renamed the audio files based on the slate, and I did the same thing with the video files. So I want to quickly just sort of run through how they shot their master coverage. So we always want to start with the wide shot, but what's not happening is that basically our guy's supposed to go in and he's supposed to walk out, and we didn't get to that on that take, because basically in this master shot, we are trying to establish all of the actions that are going to happen, where somebody enters, everybody says their lines, and they exit. And so we haven't got that quite yet. There's their entrance, they say their lines, and they still didn't quite get to the end. And that's all right. All we need is 2 good takes. So he kind of enters, says his lines, and goes. And so we got a little bit of boom there, just to be aware of. Now, the thing to understand about the wide shot is that we do not need to have a perfect take, right? We just need to have good pieces of everything. So if an actor flubs a line, just have him back up and pick it up and say it again from right there, or 2 lines back. All we need is pieces, because we're never going to shoot the whole thing. But we do want all the actions to be the same. So, so she shows it, he says his lines, he gets out. And that way, when we get into our coverage, we know exactly what we need to do. And the actors know what they need to do, and that gives them some more confidence. So we've got this 2 shot, okay? And so our actor enters. What's nice about this setup is that, it's a nice over the shoulder. We've got the pieces here, and we've moved at least 30 degrees to make the editing easier, and we've made the shot at least 30% tighter to help our editing process. And so he goes in, says his lines, and exits, and we need 2 good takes of that. Let's see what shot 103 is. So shot 103 is a close-up. This is a good framing. We get to see both eyes. And we've moved the camera tighter than the 2 shot, and we've moved it 30 degrees. Let's take a look at 104. I don't like 104 as much because it's too close to the master. So I would say that we would need to move the camera left more to match what the previous shot looked like. But he does all of his actions, sits down, says his lines, exits, And that gives us a lot of good cutting points, because we always want to edit on action. This is a good angle. It matches the other over the shoulder. They say they're lines. And he gets up and goes. Now this is really important, because somewhere in this motion is your edit point, because we're editing on action. And so right here, this is prime. Right there's your out edit. And then we can pick them up wherever we want in the next shot. And then lastly, that's really important, they shot room tone. They were recording it on the camera, that's why their picture feels like forever, but we really want to have about 60 seconds of room tone, and that's going to make our post process a lot easier as well. So that's the coverage. The next thing we want to do is create our media folder. So I'm going to call it media. And we're going to drop in our original files there. The MTS, we want to change this codec into something that's more friendly for our computers, because basically it records all of the color information every 12 frames, and it puts a lot of strain on your laptop to do this. And so the plan is that we're going to create a low-res folder of clones of these videos so that you can use them easy to edit on your laptop. And then when we're done with the edit, then we're going to reconnect it to a high-res version. So what we want to have is an audio folder, and we're going to put our original video into here, and we want to drop all these guys inside original video. So I'm going to click Shift. All right, and then we want to create two new folders. We want our low-res folder that we're going to use for our rough cut, and we want our high-res folder that we're going to use for color correction and our final output. So this is set up. We've got our project name, we've got our media files, we've got audio, and we've got 3 folders of video, one that's already containing our original files. We could actually dump this bad boy in audio if we want, and we can export it later. So the next thing we're going to do is open up the media encoder, and I'm going to click plus here, and we are going to go to our project, media, we're going to go to our original files. I'm going to hit Command A to select them all and hit open, and that's going to bring it into the media encoder. So now I'm going to hit Command A again to select all these guys, and let's go ahead and let's make our high-res file first. So we're going to leave it at high bit rate, and if you need to change that, we can just click on it, and that's where we can set it to high bit rate. I want to set the high res as hevc H.265, which is one better than H.264. And the reason why we're doing this is that it can hold 10-bit color, and that's what we'll be shooting our original files on. We'll go OK, we'll hit Command A again, and then we are going to direct this to our high-res folder, hit the go button, and it's going to start downloading, and this will take us about 5 or 10 minutes for this all to happen. When that's done, then it'll be time to create our low-resolution proxy files. And so we've still got our original files in the encoder. I'm going to hit Command A to select them all. We're going to change this resolution to, we want to go to H.264, and we want to change that to low bit rate, and then we'll go to effects, and we'll scroll down to name overlay. So it's going to use our file name, and then here in suffix we're going to add proxy, and we see how it pops up here. I want it to be bottom center, and I'd like it to be a little larger for us to see. And I don't want the file name. So basically this is will be our low res clone. And the reason why we want to do this is that when we're using Premiere, our screen is so small, it's really hard to tell what's high resolution and what's low resolution. So if we put this proxy title on it, we will know when we reconnect to the higher resolution video files that we've done it successfully. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit the Go button. And 5 or 10 minutes later, we will be able to import this into Premiere. And so when it's done correctly, we will have our high-res folder, and we will have our matching low-res clone. And that's all we need to do for multimedia management at this point.